great impact that Linda had had on the college and the 3 Gear Up grants and the dollar amounts and the impact on the kids. And I got to thinking, you know what, I'm going to make this just a little bit more personal. I sit down and I got to thinking, okay, my first memory of Linda. Okay, yeah. Well, actually, as I was sitting down and was trying to think, okay, of some of those memories when I'm 18, 19-year-old, and probably one of the most clear that I could to kind of get to form in my brain was sitting in the second floor lounge of Mitchell Hall and sitting there, you know, hanging out, doing something constructive, you know, studying something. I'm sure I was doing something constructive, I had to admit, you know, at that age. But you'd be sitting there and then all of a sudden you could kind of feel this humming in the air. And it would just be this raw energy that you could feel just coming towards you, you know? And then the air would start buzzing, and then all of a sudden you'd hear the heels a clicking on the tile, because she was always in a hurry. And she was just running through, trying to make it to class, you know. I always, these days, I would have thought that was because she was always behind, but she wasn't. She was just always in a hurry, and that's the way
Short legs, I had to hurry.
But it was always, and then it was always how she was dressed. She always had heels on at the time. And it was usually a dress, and it was very nice, very professional, just that feeling. And then even at 18, I was awed at your energy. And now I am envious of it, but you know, it's just something that is just a part of you and everything that you do and the passion that you have. And in all aspects, you know, I really owe you for my love of spreadsheets. I mean, we started in, you know, me as an accountant, I just love those. But we started in Lotus 1, 2, 3. Sorry I didn't have the same response and reaction to Word, but you know, that's just kind of the way it goes. And now, Dr. Smith, you know who to credit for those memos that you received in Excel and those Excel spreadsheets, you know, that he would receive, and then I'd be calling us like, okay, he'd be like, where is the information I need? It's on the 3rd worksheet about halfway down. But in all actuality, it's not fair to give you all of that, because you get the credit for the love and the knowledge and the understanding. Of course, I have to take the responsibility for the obsession with it. So.
Yeah.
And then I know, even we went to the state PBL contest, and just the memories of all of us, you, the other teachers, and it was just like, there was never a misstep, and you didn't feel like we were being, you know, put in line or out of place, but we were never out of place. And we were always where we were supposed to be when we needed to be there. And we had a blast while we were doing it, but you knew we had to get the work done before we could have the fun. But it was a blast at that point. And you know, when I started work here at Eastern, I started the same fall that you transitioned from working in teaching to directing the Gear Up grant. And it was really great because I was able to watch the grant being organized and taking shape and the team being assembled. It was just amazing through the years as it came from something that was on paper to something that is such a force at this particular point. And the thing about it is, you didn't settle for so-so or fair or average. You wanted to be nationally known, and you wanted the college to be nationally known for that grant. So you worked with the best Gear Up grants around the nation, the best from Insight, our best partners like TI and Eric, and key personnel at DOE. And you used the very best that you could find from all of those different places to bring it back and to build our Gear Up grant. Work with your team and to build what we have today. And you know, by the time it was part of my job to be an advocate and to be part of the Gear Up grant, it actually was the easiest thing that I've ever done. Because by that point I had seen all the results. I had been to the national conferences. I had been a part of seeing how overwhelming the national Gear Up objectives are. I had been a Gear Up mom by that point. I had seen it from the other side. and I knew the staff, and I knew how great everybody was that was part of it, and how big of a heart everybody had for the grant objectives and for the kids and for everything else that we had going on. So it really was, and like I would tell them, every Christmas, you know, I would try to find some little something to give everybody, and it's like, you know what, all of your hard work and everything that you do on a daily basis really makes it easy to do my job. And each day you make me look good for what you do. And I truly believe that. And also, some of the things that I really admired about you, Linda, and still admire, one of the greatest things is your organization and your organizational skills. Whether it was the overall grant and how it was organized and the policies and procedures, whether it was camp, whether it was any of the events that you had planned, they were planned down to the nth degree. You know, and it was even as I look back at that PBL state conference that we went to, it was there then. One of the next things is your honest opinion. You know, whether I wanted it or not, but anyways, no, I'm just like, whether it was about a new policy or something we was trying to roll out. I mean, if there was something that you've seen about it, well, even if it was good, you could tell me that too. Or if it was something that, it was like, oh my gosh, LaDonna, you're causing me problems. It's like, okay, well, come on over. And I could expect for you to sit down, give me all the reasons of what it's doing to you and why it's not gonna work or whatever. But I could always, at the end of the conversation, know that you were gonna say, okay, LaDonna, tell me what we need to do. I know, here's what I thought, and you've heard what I thought, but you tell me what we need to do, because if we need to do it, we'll do it. You know, so if it was something that I could say, okay, well, the auditor said we had to do this, or the state says we have to do this, or whatever. But then again, there was other times that I would have to, okay, well, let me go back. Let me check on this and see if we can change this part and see if we can make some arrangements. And so, and in that throughout the years, I knew that as I was getting ready to do a committee, staff hiring committee, I knew of a couple people that I needed to be on. Because, you know, when you're in those types of situations, you need somebody that's gonna say, LaDonna, this is what I see. LaDonna, this is how it's gonna work, or LaDonna, this is gonna be a problem to have to watch. You know, so I knew that I could always, it was something I could take for granted. So I didn't have to worry about that. And so when I was in the interview, I could worry about, okay, technical things and different things, because I knew what you had and you had it taken care of. So I didn't have to worry about that. And throughout the years, one of the biggest things that I think, and this is actually one of those things that I think that you might need to think about having a class on, is actually networking. If you think about it, whether it was a partnership meeting and we're talking about this complete room full of tables and it was superintendents and principals and lead teachers and counselors. She knew everybody in the room. She probably knew who their spouse was, who their children were, and how many they had and what they were doing. And she could basically go around the room and she would know everybody, or would know you by the end of the day, everybody that was going on. And that also held true whether it was like at a national conference. I mean, you could see her as she went around and who she knew, and if it was somebody that we needed to know, she already knew them. She'd already took care of them. And then even looking back at long ago to that PBL state conference, she already had that going at that particular point, and all the people that she knew and how well known she was with the other instructors across the state and the state PBL people, everything at that particular point. So it was a true gift. And finally, I think one of the biggest things I admire is your team building. You did a great job of picking great staff for any open position that you had that came about. Then you would give them the needed training, whatever it was that they were going to need to do that job. And you know what? And I think that is how and why the grant will thrive and go on. Is because of the foundation that you laid for them and what you gave them coming in. So I guess